So I'm just wondering, is that just inevitable?
Is that 150% of the whole vehicle? Like, that can't be.
They still will kill the engine occasionally. That's dangerous, because you're like crossing your legs to do
Yeah,
that.
it's probably unsafe. So today we're going to be checking out the age-old question: why do Europeans drive manuals more than automatics? I guess it's actually why do Americans drive automatic transmissions and Europeans don't?
Right.
It's the title of the video we're checking out today. I don't know, it is an interesting subject because, yeah, I would say 95% of cars over here are all automatic.
Yeah.
They do make some of the new ones.
Which is pretty much the opposite over there almost.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys are starting to get more and more automatics, but I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I don't know, yeah. And this is, again, a video based off Europe, not just the UK. From what I understand, everyone still learns on manual because it gives you a better license.
Yeah.
That way you can drive manual and automatic, or as if you take just the automatic, then you're not allowed to drive a manual.
Yeah,
something
you're
like that.
legally able to.
But yeah, anyway, so that's what we're checking out today. It is interesting because I know over here, there's so few people that can drive manuals.
I can't.
It's considered almost like a theft.
It's more like a lost art form.
No. It's like, well, that too, but it's almost like a theft prevention. Like, there's actually means and stuff like, if you have a manual, people don't know how to drive it, they can't steal it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I actually do know how to drive a manual. I did not.
You can steal it.
I did not prove myself in England. I will say that.
Well, there's a
curb.
I do, and I actually taught my brother how to drive one about 2 years ago, so that was a fun little experience. It doesn't take long, I don't know, like really, anyway. So anyway guys, before we get in the video, please like, share, and subscribe if you like this. It's good to be back, and let's get into it and check it out.
Okay.
I learned to drive with my mother's Mini, and when I turned 18, I went to get my driving license. It was a manual transmission car, like 90% of all cars in Belgium, where I live. When I turned 20, my father said I should drive his car to the restaurant we were heading for my birthday dinner. It was an automatic transmission car. A whole new world opened to me. I don't have to shift gears anymore. My left leg is free. Wow! I didn't think about it too much, as I thought it was something additional, a luxury on a higher end car to have like the Mercedes that my father had. 6 months later, I found a company for my international internship in the land of opportunity.
Oh my god.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, that's
a buddy
great.
of mine
I
and
love that edit. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I don't know if you guys have seen the meme, but there's a meme with that song. It's like a bald eagle with guns shooting.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys hear weird noises, our new baby is off to the side. So, actually, I will say, the whole left foot leg being, you just don't use it in automatic. I have used it for the gas pedal when my leg gets really tired occasionally.
That's dangerous because you're like crossing your legs to do that.
Yeah, it's probably unsafe, but I don't know. When the vehicle doesn't have cruise control and you're doing a 8-hour drive,
I could see that. Yeah,
you got to stretch it out or do something. But anyway,
I rented a car for the first 2 weeks, and the only option available, automatic transmission. Well, okay, no problem. I drove it once, I thought, and we got it. Later on, we bought an old 1991 Toyota Celica GT with automatic transmission. Well, that's odd, we thought. An old car with automatic transmission? In my mind, I'm still associating automatic transmission being for luxury cars, so I couldn't place it well. 1 month later, during my internship, my boss asks to get something and I could use his car. When he hands over the keys, he says, "Can you drive a manual transmission?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, I've got my license." And then he responded, "But this is the States, man. Not everyone can drive it." It got me thinking, what does he mean? Are Americans bad drivers?
Well, I mean, I would say one thing about the whole manual is I feel like it makes you more focused on the road.
A little bit.
Especially because when you have your other hand free, like so many people, like texting and driving, it happens all the time. You just look over, and I hate it. We should do something about it because it is getting really bad.
Some states are very, very strict with it. Like you can.
Well, they'll fine you a lot, but people still do it.
Maybe.
But anyway, yeah, like seriously, I feel like you have. I know when I drive a manual, I'm much more concentrated on the road.
I can see that.
When I arrived back in the office, I asked my colleagues what kind of transmission they have in their car, and all of them answered with automatic. I was shocked to hear it. And when I said, well, in Europe most of us drive manual transmission, one colleague responded, why would you? Automatic is easy. Why would anyone take the harder option? I went away and did some research and found out the following information.
I don't actually know if it is a harder option.
Automatic?
I mean, we're just so accustomed to it that we feel like it's easier, but I've heard from people in Europe that they're so accustomed to manuals, it's actually harder for them to drive an automatic.
I don't know about that. I think they're easier to work on it.
Manuals are cheaper to work, they're cheaper to fix, and they are easier to work on, yeah. And I think they get better fuel mileage
if you drive it correctly.
Yeah.
In Europe, 80% of all new cars are manual transmissions, where in the States it's around 5%.
Okay, actually I do want to say something real quick. It's kind of funny because he mentioned the whole only luxury cars are automatic, so he thought. It seems like almost the opposite. If you get some fancy sporty cars, they're more likely to be manual.
Yeah.
Of course, now they're making a lot of them both. You can have an option to trade, but they're not usually a true manual. But it still seems like I associate manual cars with really fancy. My dad's got a BMW and it's kind of a sporty car, and it's a manual. So I kind of associate sporty rich cars with manual.
Well, that and also manual cars are older, the 70s and the 50s.
A little bit,
60s,
yeah, because their automatic's a little bit more new. More new?
Not new.
Newer.
Car is generally speaking 1,000 to 2,000 euros more expensive. Taxes on cars are very high, especially in West Europe and Scandinavian countries where taxes can be up to 150%.
Jeez.
So getting an automatic over there...
Is that 150%
of the sales price?
of the whole vehicle? That can't be.
You pay more for the tax than you do for the vehicle? That seems weird.
No, it's got to be... I don't know what exactly that is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
1,000 to 2,000 euros more expensive. The taxes on cars are very high, especially in West Europe and Scandinavian countries where taxes can be up to 150%. So getting an automatic over there is a huge amount of extra money you'd pay. In most European countries, you pay an additional tax on the engine size and horsepower, which pushes the manufacturers into the smaller and lighter cars section, like an Audi A1 3-cylinder 1 litre, where in the US people tend to get 3 litre V6 or V8 engines.
Yeah.
Automatic transmission is heavier than manual, making your car weigh more, which causes more fuel consumption, which is a big no-no for Europeans because the gas prices are significantly higher there. For example, in the US, a litre, where 1 litre is 0.264 gallons of gasoline, is about 0.81 USD. In Belgium, it's 1.62, UK it's 1.64, and Italy it's 1.84. Driving a manual car is harder, and you need to
that seems kind of like the rule of thumb that gas price over there is doubled.
Regulate the clutch properly, or you will consume more fuel, which in proportion gets higher if you drive a V6 or V8 US car instead of a V4 Euro car. The maintenance and repair costs of automatic cars are also higher compared with the manual. Europe has a dynamic topography. The continent is dominated by narrower roads, hilly areas, crowded cities and bumpy terrains.
That's for sure.
Driving through the roads of Europe thus calls for ultimate driving experience with manual transmissions. Moving the gears up and down is more common when driving through the countryside area, hence manual offers seamless acceleration around the corners. To summarise, the differences are mostly economical and geographical reasons, not really the way how people like to drive. What do you think will happen in the future? Will the trend keep on going? Or will we see a change because of electrical vehicles? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, please drop a like. And if you disliked it, then drop a dislike.
Don't.
I'm guessing he was doing all those drawings.
I don't know. It's an interesting animation. I like it though.
Very good way to do a video. So yeah, I don't know. I absolutely agree with him. That it has more to do with economics than anything. Obviously, it's probably ingrained somewhat, but I think over time it's just because
I think cars used to always be manual.
Yeah.
So it's like over time that they discovered, let's make things automatic. And I guess maybe because America was kind of a founder in a lot of the car manufacturing, that they got to that faster, and we just like utilized it more because we're lazy.
I don't know. It was probably a like awe thing, like, oh wow, this is so cool, an automatic car, and it was like trendy. I feel like it was probably more of a trendy thing. So
I think it was somewhat practical.
The question he brought up at the end, I'm going to actually say that maybe with electric cars, more countries will go automatic. Otherwise, I see the trend just being the same. The U.S. having automatic and Europe having manuals. And then also with the laws, like I said, like England, how they have it to where if you get the license to only drive an automatic, you can't drive a manual.
Right.
That's a huge incentive to make sure you can drive a manual.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, that was an interesting video. I agree with it, and I think he did a great job.
I do think automatics are still easier, especially because you've mentioned like driving a manual in the city is not fun.
That's just because I'm not like super used to it. I hate driving manual in the city because I hate the constant stop and go with the clutch. And then again, because
I feel like even the city's over in Europe.
I was saying because I'm not the best driver of that. Like I hate being like on a hill and you pop the clutch out a little bit and if you roll back. But again, it's like that's just inexperience on my part. Like I do know how to drive a manual, but
okay, all you experienced manual drivers. Do you still kill the engine periodically? Or is that like a really rare occurrence? Because it seems like all the people I know, because we don't drive manuals very often, but we do have some, we do drive them semi-regularly. How do you say that word? Regularly? They still will kill the engine occasionally. So I'm just wondering, is that just inevitable? Or do real experienced people who do it like daily
But I would say that what he brought up with the hills, it is more fun to drive a manual like windy hills and stuff.
I could see that.
And they do handle better.
Oh.
So, I didn't realize that though. He is right though.
I feel like you're driving a race car all the time.
Kind of, yeah. Most of our vehicles are V6 or V8. Some of 4 cylinders.
Like even our smallest cars is still V6.
Well, we do have some 4 cylinders, but they're not. They are somewhat becoming more common for the sake of the gas mileage.
Yeah.
But I hardly ever see a 3-liter. Ever.
Yeah, I can't even think of one.
So, anyway, that was some food for thought. It's interesting. We're looking forward to seeing you guys' comments down below. And
really like the style of video. I know it's not really pertinent, but it's still kind of cool.
I'll link it down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Be safe, look after one another, and cheers.